So what do you do if you're on medications that require you to take them more times a day than you want to eat? Meds that have to be taken with food can be a problem.
I'm Jackie, here to answer questions about my journey from Fat Weak and Sick to Trim Strong and Healthy.
It sort of depends to some degree on why they have to be taken with food. For instance, metformin is usually prescribed to take with food because it upsets some people's stomachs, and if you take it with food, it's less likely to. For me, metformin never bothered my stomach, so it didn't matter when I took it. I did actually discuss this with my endo at one point, and she said it builds to a steady state in your bloodstream over time, so it doesn't matter when you take it. I just start taking it, the whole dose, with my meal every day. Though I got my advice from her, generally I advise that you talk to your pharmacist rather than your doctor, because the pharmacist is much more likely to know why the meds are supposed to be taken with food. And if it's because they don't absorb or don't work properly, that's much more important than whether or not it gives you a bellyache. Not that running to the bathroom is fun either, but some side effects don't affect everyone, and if they don't, then it wouldn't necessarily affect you. But if it's a matter of absorption or the medication working properly, then you probably need to take it with some food. The next question I ask the pharmacist is, if you tell me I have to take a pill twice a day, does it mean it has to be 12 hours apart? How about 8 hours? How about 6 hours? Like, how close can I get it? The closer the better in terms of both weight loss and reversing diabetes. But you're going to get to some number that isn't necessarily as seldom as you want to eat. What I recommend you do is that for one meal, you just eat a very small, like a handful, maybe measured, of macadamia nuts, for instance. And then for your second meal, eat whatever you normally are going to eat. In my case, that would be a ridiculously big salad, or sometimes a cooked version of food that is similar. Basically, you want that second meal that you're having to eat for meds to be mostly fat, and as little as it can be, so that it will affect your insulin as little as possible. So sometimes putting heavy cream in your coffee might be good enough. A few bites of cream cheese, nuts, nut butters. I don't do nut butters because nut butters are, I lose it with nut butters. I have no control. You do want a measured amount of food. Pepperoni is another one. A few slices of pepperoni might do it. This is something that is mostly fat. Very little bit of protein, no carbs, or as little carbs as you can get. You want it to be mostly fat, and you want it to be as small an amount as you can get away with. Talk to your pharmacist and figure out what will work best for you.